Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please encourage us by doing so that we can bring you the latest news as it happens and we can all work together with our great leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB and Eastern Security Network to make our Biafran dream a reality and at the same time expose the terrorist activities of the Nigerian government to the whole world to see. My brothers and my sisters, after the Nigerian Fulani government have failed to convince the American and the British government to supply them with military personnel and ammunition to fight Biafrans, to fight IPOB, to fight Eastern Security Network, after all those failed, today they had a meeting, a bilateral meeting with the Chinese government. And in that meeting, the Chinese have agreed to help the Fulani Nigerian government to fight Biafrans and the Yoruba nations that are seeking independence. The announcement came after the American and the British government both refused to assist Nigerian to massacre Biafrans and the Yoruba nations because of their human rights abuses and extrajudicial killings that they did in the past and they are currently doing against IPOB, NSAS protesters, and the Shia Muslim protesters, including the kidnapping and, stop and pick, they just do anyhow. They throw people in dungeon, they lock them up without taking them to court. They just do whatever they want to do. They kill people and nobody talks about it. That is why the British and the American government refuse. Both the American and the British government said that no reasonable, no responsible country can get involved in this insecurity going on in Nigeria because it is too complex, because Nigerian government is involved, because the Nigerian government sponsors terrorism, and because most of Nigerian government officials are terrorists themselves. China has agreed with the Fulani Nigerian government in their plan to wipe out all the non-Fulani tribes, opposing their Fulanization and Islamization agendas, because China wants human organs. They have appetite for human organs. And because China are most interested in the oil and gas, they want the LNG, they want the crude oil, they want other mineral resources in Biafra land and Oduduwa land. This is a new system the Chinese are using to colonize Africans. They give Africans big loans and make the repayment very difficult. At the end of the day, Africans will not be able to pay and they will now come and take over. They have done so in Rwanda. They have done so in DRC, Congo Democratic Republic. They are doing so all over Africa. All the countries are indebted to China. So this is their new system of enslavement and colonization of Africans. And what they want to do is they will enslave the indigenous people and they will kill them and grab their lands so that it becomes theirs forever, just as they are grabbing lands all over Asia. That was one of the reasons why the Nigerian government held the security meeting with their terrorist military service chiefs to brief them of this favor they got from the Chinese government and to strategize on how to implement and bring in Chinese military to help Nigerian military fight the Fulani war. And that is why you can see that the Fulani Inspector General of Police of Nigeria is redeploying Commissioner of Police in the states. And one of the tactics they are using now is the divide and rule tactics. They replace the Anambra Commissioner of Police with a Yoruba man named Chris Owolabi, because they want to create tension between the Yorubas and the Igbos, because they know they will give him instructions. The instructions they have just arranged during their security meeting, because of the favor and the support that they are getting from the Chinese government. Then in Oyo State, they still have the Biafran Commissioner of Police, Ngozi Onodeko. They are using her to make the Yoruba feel that the Igbos are the problem. And in Anambra, they will now make the Yorubas, they make the Igbos feel that the Yorubas are the problem. You see all this trick and all this devilish plan the Fulani Janjaweeds are carrying out. Shopping around, looking for help, how to destroy Biafra. Now the Chinese have offered to help them. And in turn, they want to sell Biafra to the Chinese. Imagine the wickedness. You know, the Fulani are traditionally blackmailers. They blackmail. They use you, they dump you. And when you talk, they just blackmail you. The same thing that happened to former Minister of State of Petroleum. They blackmailed him. The same thing now is happening to Father Mbaka, because he has deserted them, because he has refused to follow their lies and sweep the killing of Biafrans under the carpet. They are now after him. They are after him. They are lying that Mbaka asked for compensation for supporting the late Buhari during their 2015 presidential election in the zoo. We all know that this is a lie. Because if it is not a lie, why is it now that they are coming out to churn out all this information? You know, when they try to use you and they see that you are wise, they dump you. That was how they dumped Fowler from Federal Inland Revenue Resources. You know, they dropped him there. After using him, they dropped him. They tried to blackmail him. And the same thing is happening to Father Mbaka. They tried to use it against Eyoita, the former head of service of Nigeria. She's a Biafran. You know, they keep using all those stuff to keep everyone quiet, especially those that they have used and dumped. This is what you get when you dine with the devil. Because even the Bible noted that the blessings of God maketh riches, you know, but the blessings of the devil bringeth sorrow. And that is why it is not good to support one Nigeria. One Nigeria is evil. Biafrans, we must rise up. We must fight against this Fulani selling of Biafra to the Chinese. We must fight against it. And after their meeting, after the security meeting, the Nigerian presidency, controlled by the Fulani Meetiala, has given order to shoot at sight. You know, when they give orders to shoot at sight, we all know those they want to shoot at sight is the Biafrans, the peaceful protesters, you know, the freedom fighters. Those are the ones they want to shoot at sight. And they also gave order to use maximum force to quell any peaceful protest or assembly, with the exception of the ones carried out by terrorists, Fulani headers, and bandits, Boko Haram and ISWAP. Those ones, they give them ransom. They give them money. The Fulani Nigerian government, you know, will now use the Chinese military to massacre any tribe that opposes Nigerian government's Fulanization and Islamization agendas. The Chinese will in turn be given free access to Biafran crude oil, natural gas, and other mineral resources for free. The Fulani Nigerian government have sold Biafra to the Chinese. They have sold the Oduduwa land to the Chinese because these two tribes have refused to be dominated like the Hausas. But thank God the Hausas are waking up. Thank God the Middle Belt governor of Benue State is shouting. Instead of them commending him, they are castigating him. My brothers and my sisters, we must all rise up to defend our Biafran land, to defend Oduduwa land. We must rise up. We must rise up. We must rise up from Edo, which is Godomigodo. We must rise up from the Igbo mainland. We must rise up from Anioma, the Igbo waterside. We must rise up in Igbo land in rivers. We must rise up in Ijaw lands, in Bayelsa, in rivers, in Ondo, and in Edo and Delta. We must rise up. The Ibibio land, we must rise up. The Efik land, we must rise up. We must rise up. We must rise up in unity and face this devil called Fulani Janjaweed, trying to sell our land to the Chinese, trying to exterminate us because we have refused to be dominated. Thank you for watching my video, and bye-bye for now.